So we say Warren Buffett, for example, and to be totally frank, I'm not his biggest fan.
All alternatives have a future, that they are the future over time, but you can't change the world, the base of the world. I mean, you've got 260 million vehicles on the road, or whatever number it is in the United States, and I don't know how many around the world. They're not changing what they use tomorrow. The average age of the American vehicle, the auto, I think is 11 to 12 years, something like that. The world can't change dramatically. Anybody thinks you can change energy sources 10% in a year, it just doesn't work that way. But the world is going in the right direction in terms of working toward minimization of carbon.
Speaking of those cars, look at Tesla and what Elon Musk is doing. That kind of is a revolution, right?
Well, it's an important change, but if you guessed on the penetration of electric cars, let's say we say 17 million or some year in 2030 when I'll be 100, I'd be surprised if more than a third of those would be electric. So of the total vehicles on the road, still might be 10% to electric tops or something like that worldwide. You can't change this mass of transportation. It is changing, it should change, but in terms of just the math of replacing, if we said we're going to junk all the cars we have, the economy would stop. We can't produce it, we couldn't replace it.
What do you think of Elon Musk, though? If you met him, and would you invest in Tesla?
Well, I think you're trying to bait me a little bit.
I'm just asking you. You can say no, and no, or yes,
listen,
yes,
he's done
yes.
some remarkable things.
Okay. Have you met him?
Oh yeah, he joined the Giving Pledge some years ago. I've only met him once or twice, but I've talked with him not for quite a while.
And would you invest in Tesla?
No.
Elon Musk says that Tesla will start to offer insurance for its cars and can price it better than a typical insurance company because of the data it collects from all the vehicles on the road. You've talked about the threat of autonomous vehicles on the insurance business, but what about the threat to Geico of automobile companies themselves getting into the insurance business? And on a very similar topic, Tesla recently announced that they're shifting to an online-only sales model, and several traditional auto dealerships are also reducing their property holdings as car buyers increasingly use smartphones and the internet to shop for cars. What does this portend for Berkshire Hathaway Automotive?
Actually, General Motors had a company for a long time called Motors Insurance Company. Various companies have tried it. The success of the auto companies getting into the insurance business are probably about as likely as the success of the insurance companies getting into the auto business. I worry much more about Progressive than all of the auto company possibilities that I could see in terms of getting the insurance business. It's not an easy business. I would bet against any company in the auto business being any kind of an unusual success. The idea of using telematics in terms of studying people's drivers, that's spreading quite widely. It is important to have data on how people drive, how hard they brake, how much they swerve, all kinds of things. So I don't doubt the value of the data, but I don't think that the auto companies will have any advantage to that. I don't think they'll make money in the insurance business. Using the internet to shop for cars is like using the internet for shopping for everything. It's another competitor. People will look for better ways. Now, the gross margin on new cars is about 6% or thereabouts. There's not lots of room in the game, but that will be a method, and that will sell some cars, and it's another competitor. But I don't think it destroys the auto dealer who takes good care of the customers. It's not an overwhelming threat, but it's obviously something that's going to be around and will sell some cars. If you look at the leading candy bars, for example, for the last 50 years, I think you'll find Snickers on top, and then you got M&Ms. You got two types, so they don't combine the peanuts with the other ones. But I think they're number 2 and 4, and Hershey's in there number 3 or something of the sort. I can't take them on. I don't think Elon can take them on. They have moats. When you go into a drugstore, 7-Eleven or something, and you say, I would like a Snickers bar, the owner says, oh, I've got something, the Musk bar, at 10 cents off the Snickers bar. You say, give me the Snickers. And if he doesn't give you the Snickers, you go across the street and buy the Snickers. The brands are moats. Obviously, this product is selling to hundreds of millions of people who want Coca-Cola. If you say, I'll sell you something for 2 cents less, or I've got some celebrity's name on it. Richard Branson tried Virgin Cola in the United States about 15 or 20 years ago. A million others have been tried. So I don't really have the same urge to produce automobiles that he apparently has to produce candy, but I don't suggest that he take on Snickers.
You're taking me literally and stepping away from the real story here, which is kind of this war of words between you and Charlie and Elon. Do you even know Elon Musk?
I've never said anything negative about Elon. You're baiting me a little bit to do it. But
I am.
People like his car and everything, but did somebody mention that now we're talking about financing? I thought I heard that earlier.
Yes, well, actually, Andrew just read some headlines where it looked like Tesla may be going back to market to could pick up some additional financing. I'm not entirely sure. All I heard was the headline.
That's what I call a counter-revelation, because I think it was just a few days ago they said they wouldn't need financing. He's trying something to improve a product, and I salute him for that. And the American public will decide whether it's a success. It's not easy. It's probably easier to develop a new car than to compete with Snickers. But some products have terrific moats. Probably Elmer's glue does, WD-40. There's just certain things that you are not much inclined to be dissatisfied with and see. And I would say that, incidentally, that the iPhone has a terrific moat. People that have an iPhone, or maybe have some other phone, but they want to continue with the product that they've got. They want the new version. It's just easier for them. They learn how to do everything, and their life's built around it and all of that. Moats are very useful. Costco has a moat in people's mind. Amazon can raise the price of Prime 20%. You can't do that unless you've built something within that image of the Amazon Prime that's based on reality, that you're going to get a lot for your money and you're going to want to use it. And then you can raise prices $20. But if you're selling some commodity product, you can't do that. You need a moat.
Elon Musk this week on his Tesla earnings call said the following, quote, "I think moats are lame. They are like nice in a sort of quaint vestigial way, and if your only defense against invading armies is a moat, you will not last long. What matters is the pace of innovation. That is the fundamental determinant of competitiveness," unquote. So Warren, it seems the world has changed. Business is getting more competitive, pace of innovation, technology is impacting everything. Is Elon right?
Well,
Answer that one, Warren. Elon says a conventional moat is quaint, and that's true of a puddle of water. And he says that the best moat would be to have a big competitive position. That is also right. It's ridiculous. Warren does not intend to build an actual moat, even though they're quaint.
Yeah, certainly a great number of businesses. This has always been true, but it does seem like the pace has accelerated and so on in recent years. And more moats that have been susceptible to invasion than seemed to be the case earlier. But there's always been the attempt to do it. Here and there are probably places where the moat is as strong as ever, but certainly should be working at improving your own moat and defending your own moat all the time. Elon may turn things upside down in some areas. I don't think he'd want to take us on in candy. You can look at something like Granimals out there in the other room, and it won't be technology that takes away the business in Granimals. It may be something else that catches the young kid's fantasy or something. But being the low-cost producer, for example, is a terribly important moat. And something like Geico, technology has really not brought down the cost that much. And a couple of companies that have costs as low as ours, but among big companies, we are a low-cost producer, and that is not bad when you're selling an essential item. Okay, Greg.
Apple has been suggested by some analysts who are pretty smart that they should get into the electric vehicle business and maybe do so by buying Tesla. You and Charlie Munger, your vice chair, did this years ago with BYD buying electric vehicle and electric battery company. Would you suggest that, or would you support it if they bought Tesla?
Well, I would support what Tim Cook does, but I think it would be a very poor idea to get into the auto business. It's not an easy business. Incidentally, the auto business is different than some. If you're a premier with Google on search, or you're a premier movies on Netflix, whatever it be, there's a huge first mover and size network effect and all that working for you. You can win in autos one year and you lose the next. I mean, you've got a dozen big companies out there with resources. They're going to keep coming. They copy what you do. People move from one year to another. You don't worry about the fact that your whole life is on the iPhone as opposed to, you don't want your whole life to be in one car. It does not give you a permanent advantage.
The always colorful Elon Musk, the CEO, got into a little trouble recently. If one of your CEOs did an Elon Musk type of tweet, I'm going private, of course they wouldn't go private, but they revealed something they shouldn't have, how would you have handled that?
If you misspeak, you correct it immediately. And if you've got a stock that's trading like crazy, you come on 3 minutes later and don't say, I misspoke when I said lending secured. I meant to say, I really think I can get funding.
Bitcoin. You and Charlie have told Fox Business and made news calling it rat poison squared. Has anything changed to make you take a second look?
It will come to a bad ending.